Ooh, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. There's so much to talk about and so much weird stuff going on, and so as I'm recording this, a bunch of people on social media, Reddit specifically, but social media in general, Reddit, Discord, have messed with the profitability, viability, and business model of hedge funds. And here's the thing, right? So these funds, these financial games, they're not about actually producing any wealth, okay? They're finance games. But they think that because they play the game, they're guaranteed a profit or guaranteed a spot or guaranteed. They're guaranteed. They're in business. They're guaranteed. They're dealing with lots of money. They're guaranteed because the government has to make it so that they make money. Too big to fail. And the specific companies that are involved right now in being taken down by people on social media are the same ones that benefited the most and had the most profitable years ever in their history in 2009 with the bailout. I really do find the whole thing amusing, which of course brings up Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, who is fully unhinged. You know, it's funny because she makes comments about, oh, we should definitely hold a hearing about this. Something's going on. And you're like, yeah, so she's demonstrated multiple times that she doesn't have the economic background to balance a checkbook. And she's going to have hearings on large position investment companies, investment banks, fighting with, well, the market. And she doesn't, no, AOC, the only reason for AOC to get involved is that she has a populist following who will cheer because she's involved. She won't do anything. She can't do anything because she doesn't understand. I literally do not think that she could properly manage a written down paper check register. Not a chance in hell. And she's actually crazy. I mean, when there was some response to the hearing on this, she went from, so she started with a lie. Okay, the lie is that there was an assassination plot, that there was a big program for an insurrection to kill half of Congress on January 6th, which is not true at all, and the whole insurrection label is incorrect to begin with. It really wasn't that. I can't tell if she did it first or if the federal prosecutor in Arizona made it up first, but both of them lied. Flat out lied. No evidence, no nothing. But in her mind now, she's gone from, oh, those random people might have killed me, to, oh, there was a conspiracy to kidnap and hold for ransom and murder half of Congress, to half of the GOP sitting in Congress is actively plotting her demise. Actively. Like, she's unhinged, man. I mean, she's lost it. She's completely unhinged. And everyone's just going to be like, oh, well, that didn't matter in a year when she says something that they like. Something. When she gets back on to send people to camps, people will cheer her because, that's the kind of craziness they cheer. But she's unhinged, man. So, apparently Biden has signed more executive orders than some presidents have in their entire terms at this point. We're a good solid week and a half in. He's pissed off Taiwan, China, Mexico, Canada, the EU, Saudi Arabia. Well, I mean, at least he hasn't pissed off the Muslim extremists, the remnants of ISIS. I don't know. Someone's got to be happy with him. He's not yeah, this is not an auspicious start, okay? Whether or not you think we should have border controls, which of course has always been framed as some sort of moat and stone wall because that's how you make fun of people, is to not look at their actual proposals. Anyway, you know, the whole border controls are bad, economic controls are bad, energy independence is bad. The problem with all of this is that none of that is actually bad, okay? You can argue about how you do your border controls and how you treat people, how you allow people, how you disallow people, but we gotta get rid of all the border controls. That's stupid. Economic independence. Man, I really worry that the whole anti-America first thing is going to completely, I think it's going to make things blow up, man. I really do. You know, we got told that the whole, everything would get better for everybody in the world. We just had to kind of suck it up for a while, and it would be on the backs of the middle class because, you know, the economy is changing and everything. It's not that anymore. You know, it's literally, that's not even the message anymore. They just want to take us all down. I don't know what to say. I think that a free and independent middle class they see as a threat. That's one of the things I wrote to Mark Amodei about, because I got a response. You know, I sent her a letter because the stimulus bill was bad. It was horrible. I don't care if we give $2 million to transgender prisoners in Pakistan who are going to get their heads chopped off next week. Whatever. I don't care. Okay? It's stupid and it's silly, but it's not enough money to matter. I don't care about that. What I care about is using this pandemic to eradicate the active conservative and libertarian bases, the yeomanry of the United States. What do I mean? Well, I got a response back from Amodei telling me that I was misinformed. You know, that it wasn't about gay prisoners in Pakistan. Transgender prisoners in Pakistan. I don't know what their sexual orientation is. Whatever. That this was about billions of dollars for all these programs. So he enumerated some programs. He talked about healthcare, and I can tell you pretty positively from knowing people involved that all this healthcare funding is going to the administrations. You know, $8 billion to get our schools reopened. Not even close, man. You'll be lucky if the actual classrooms, the actual getting kids to and from school safely, you'll be lucky if $1 billion of that money goes to that. Nothing for school choice, nothing to help homeschoolers, nothing to help alternatives. No, it was just frickin' pandering to the school unions and the school administrators. There is a school management and administrators unions. They're unionized too. That's all it went to. Okay, none of that money is going to hit the ground. All right, and then extra money for unemployment. All right, I have people in my life, tenants, friends, whatever. I have people in my life for whom I know their financials pretty well. And I know a lot of 1099 workers and a couple just standard regular people who have not gotten their unemployment ever since March last year. Yeah, we're going to extend unemployment and help the CARES Act. Yeah, whatever. Maybe some of those Wall Street assholes should have to deal with fucking CARES, right? And then he says, the Paycheck Protection Program. So I looked into that. I've asked around. I kept trying to figure out that there's businesses here that are just closed. They're done. They're gone. They're never coming back. And there's businesses that have opened and closed and furloughed and struggled and stayed alive, kind of. And none of the individual small businesses, none of the sole proprietorships, none of the general partnerships, none of the smaller LLCs, none of the local small businesses have got a single penny out of this Paycheck Protection Program. I'm sure that it's great if you're a big financial company that furloughed a couple. If you're Disney, I have friends who work at Disney who are furloughed. Okay, I'm sure that is great, that it works for them, but it doesn't work for small business. So I wrote a letter to Amodei that was rather scathing about how dare you treat me like an uninformed idiot. You tell me all this money that's going to all these programs, and I'm telling you that the money needs to go to small business and to individuals. None of it does. Here's the thing. This is why I brought it up. They're killing an entire class of people. This is literally political warfare. Okay, so let's bring up the Nazis, all right? Because it's always fun to bring up the Nazis. Let's bring up the other socialists. I don't care if it's the National Socialists in Germany or the Bolshevik Socialists, okay? They did the same thing, all right? You are of the wrong group. You are a Jew. So we're going to tell you that you can't run a business, that you have to put an identifier in your business, that you have to shut down for certain hours, that you're only allowed to open certain days, you're only allowed to do business this way, you're only allowed to do business if you're not competing with this group, that group. They're doing the exact same thing to small business in America, and it's for exactly the same reasons. I want you to understand that. It's the same reasons. They're doing the same thing. This whole thing has been aimed. Look at the differences in the governors. Look at the differences in which party runs a given state. They are absolutely targeting small business, independent economic activity. Okay? Look, to be in small business means that you're probably going to be perceived as a little bit more conservative, okay? And I know this isn't a universal rule, but even with the people who lean left, if you engage in a small business that is successful long term, there are certain factors, certain things in your brain about how economics work. Getting paid. You have to get paid to stay in business. The regulations you have to deal with. There's certain things in here that turn you into what is perceived as conservative. Now, why are you perceived as conservative? That's because you understand how finance, if you understand how money works. It's just like if you actually read Supreme Court decisions and understand and can discuss what the topic actually is and not what Washington Post told you to be outraged about, then you're considered conservative, okay? It's a conservative appearance, this kind of information to be able to speak. But the truth is, a lot of small business, a lot of the what they call the middle small business with employees, a lot of small business in America is relatively conservative or libertarian-ish, okay? They tend to be against what's going on right now. And they tend to vote that way, but they also tend to be slightly better informed voters when it comes at least to economic policy. A person with a dry cleaning business is going to have some knowledge of what this new set of regulations on how they can and can't move their liquid storage. They're going to know what it means. They're also going to know where it's stupid, okay? They're also going to know where it means that only Walmart can exist. You're going to put local places out of business. Dry cleaners aren't the best example for that. However, USDA butchering regulations, most certainly are. And you can already see it. It's January, and you can already see the differences coming down. So, a long video. Wasn't supposed to be a long video. the goal here seems to be to take out the middle class, to take out the economic independence, the yeomanry, entrepreneurship, and to do that with the specific intent of making sure that there is no political power on that end of the spectrum, okay? And I don't think the Republican Party hates that idea, okay? I think they would much rather play in the elite academic playground themselves. So, a little weird. All of that came out of Wall Street. Well, here's the deal, right? The whole thing about Wall Street is it was yeomanry. It was yeomanry in action. It was yeomanry organized. There was more people involved, but it was bunch of small, regular dudes, and you can't allow them to step on the toes of the elites. That's basically the whole thing that's going on. That's all the drama. So, stay sideways, and remember, even if you have to figure out other economic methods, keep your business going. Stay independent. And I'm starting to make a commitment to this, so I want all 43 of my viewers to do the same. You know, if you can support a small business, if it's a couple extra dollars, do it. You know, I understand, like, local firearm shop, you know, they're charging $150 over MSRP of $500. Yeah, whatever. Don't get cheated. But if it's the difference between a $5 box of ammo and a $6 box of ammo, 22, spend the $6. Do something for local businesses, you know, if you can, you know, go to that horrible, awful mom and pop coffee shop that doesn't know how to actually make just black coffee, and go buy their coffee. You know, do your best, all right? Stay sideways.